say Panama City is it's a smaller town. There's a ton of waterfront here. It's almost its own little peninsula. It's really a boater's paradise.
Being from Florida, we have hurricanes on the regular. Even hearing a storm, coming on TV is not a big deal to us. It's typical to stay. And that's kind of just the mindset that a lot of Floridians have towards hurricanes. Nobody left. It caught everybody off guard.
There was very little advance notice as to how intense the storm was going to be.
So it's gearing up to potentially be the strongest storm ever to hit the Florida Panhandle.
You couldn't see a tree standing upright outside of any window of the house. And it was incredible, the devastation.
I was wondering, is this house going to protect us? And then you start thinking of an evacuation plan. What do you do if the house starts coming apart? There's no good answer to that, unfortunately. It's kind of a defeating feeling at that point. Just crazy thoughts that are going through your head that ultimately you have no control over, which is hard to process. After the storm, words can't describe after the storm. The first steps out the front door, it was completely different. Nothing was the same. It's almost like you're in this alternate reality.
As soon as the storm dissipated, I was out there cutting. Nobody could prepare for anything like this, and nobody's ever seen anything like this. You would go 2 houses down and a house would be flattened or demolished, and then skip over one and it was like it was untouched. I cut my way to Mom and Dad's house first. I just needed to see my family.
There was no cell service, so you can't dial 911. I knew that the power and the lights and life was not gonna come back online as normal for many weeks to come.
90% of the structures in this county were compromised, and there's just not enough people to do all the work. So instead of just waiting around at home, I picked up with anytime tree removal and started cutting trees off houses. We worked 7 days a week for a long time.
Most every metal building in Panama City got just leveled, and I didn't think this one was going to be an exception. As soon as I got down the street to where I could see the facility, I saw that it was still standing. I'm not the type of person to jump up and down and scream out loud, but I was jumping up and down and screaming out loud. I was so very excited. Obviously, nothing got through the storm unscathed, and we've had a lot of damage and a lot of repairs to do, but we're here. After my family had left, I turned my attention towards my other family, which is the guys here. I need to make sure they're okay and to take an assessment of who needs what and make sure that everyone is gonna live till we get life back on track.
I've always worked outside. I've run chainsaws. I've run heavy equipment my whole life, so I felt like it was needed for me to put that to use.
Brunswick and Land and Sea had sent us some supplies, including tarps. We would take those tarps out to the homes, and 4 or 5 of us at a time would just go from one house to the next house to the next house and put the tarps on there. And at least get your homes from experiencing any continued degradation or damage.
We're 6 months out since the storm, and I haven't got everything put back together yet. But all things considered, we were very, very blessed. We're living a lot better than a lot of people.
When there's literally nothing available and no one to reach out to, I consider myself very fortunate to have been in a position to offer help. Stuff is just stuff, you know. People are what's important that can never be taken away. I know sometimes you kind of have to have some of the bad to make you appreciate the good.
Stuff like this, you know, humbles us. It knocks us to our knees, and that's part of life, you know, and you just got to get through it the best way you can, lean on your friends and family, and you'll get through it.
I think the attitude of the community is very positive. Most people consider themselves a survivor now, and they're looking to help out anyone any way they can.
The immediate future is going to be more of the same. It's going to be roll your sleeves up and go to work and rebuild. I think for the next probably 5 to 10 years it's going to be that way.
I feel that the community is stronger due to the efforts of having to pull together. You know, all the things that you need to get by are in place.
We're not letting the storm dictate, you know, how we move going forward.